everyone, my name is Ashley. I'm a mom of two. I have a daughter named Mackenzie who is 5 and a son named Cruz who is 1, and I'm also the CEO of the Not So Perfect Mom. In this video you will see a part of my campaign #StillMe. I had a calling to make this campaign to bring moms together, real moms, real women together, to share their self-love journey and to normalize postpartum, normalize the good, the bad, and normalize real postpartum bodies, normalizing real bodies, and of course, women empowerment. I'm so blessed to get to know these beautiful mamas. I actually had the opportunity to interview them on top of our amazing photo shoot. I got to ask them questions about their self-love journey because everyone's journey is different. Everybody is different, and unique. For me, it is very important to share this message, to let all you mamas know that you are not alone. Without further ado, let's get to learn more about these fun, amazing moms.
I'm Erica. I have a 1-year-old son named Nixon.
Hi, my name is Imani. I am a mother to 6 beautiful children. Their ages are 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, and 2.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I have 2 boys, Mason who is 4 and Cannon who is 1 month.
Hi, my name is Kaniqua. I have a 2-year-old daughter. Her name is Ryan. Before having children, I was very petite. I didn't really have a stomach. I didn't really have a butt either. I was really small, so I definitely felt a lot more comfortable wearing certain things.
I guess I always had insecurities about myself that I had to work on, so I'll just say stomach-wise, I didn't care. You know, I had a decent stomach and I felt like I was okay with it. But you know, I always battled with my own personal insecurities about how I looked.
I'd never really had a really good body image. I was always kind of self-conscious even though I was a lot smaller. And I think having a baby really helped me embrace my body because I know that I'm bigger, but at the same time I can see exactly what my body can do. It created an entire life, and so I'm really proud of that.
I mean, I felt like I was fit, I was skinny, I was confident, but then you always have that time where you feel like you're still kind of, I guess, fat or not comfortable. But definitely now it's a whole different ball game, a different image.
I liked it. I was always, I guess, a fan of getting pregnant and watching the baby bump grow, seeing how fast my baby bump was gonna come. So that's something I always enjoyed. I guess I've always been a fan of stretch marks. They don't bother me like they bother other people, but that was my thing. Just watching the bump, and I like stretch marks, so.
My first pregnancy was way different than my second. Kinda accepted the body changing more with my second because I already knew what was happening. But my first just felt like I gained so much weight and stretched out so much more. I accepted it because you don't have a choice, you're having a baby, but it was still hard. I feel harder the first time.
I actually really loved being pregnant. I loved seeing my belly grow, and the stretch marks I didn't like them at first, but then I started to embrace them because they really showed what your body can do.
I actually loved my body. When I was pregnant, I didn't gain too much weight, and I felt like I was gaining in the right places. So my thighs was getting a little bigger, and that's something that I always had trouble with. Really, it was just all belly besides my thighs, and my butt growing a little bit. So I was like, oh, this is cute. And then I had Ryan.
I cried a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I cried just because there's such an image on social media. I know I'm gonna get emotional. Following some pages on Instagram like yours, just embracing that people don't snap back. It's been really helpful. Other pages like the Birds Papaya, that they just really embrace like the beauty of like stretch marks. Your stomach's not always flat right after you have a baby, and it was definitely helpful to like follow like Instagram pages and social media that wasn't necessarily people like bragging about snapping back, and so that was something that was really helpful and helped me to love myself and not be disgusted or totally like grossed out by my body.
I think that I didn't really like it. I don't think it bothered me so much in the beginning because it was like, oh, I just had a baby and my focus was the baby. I think it's gotten like my postpartum journey and body. I think maybe like once she turned 5 or 6 months and I started realizing like, wow, you can't wear the stuff that you used to wear because, you know, I just didn't feel comfortable with my stomach. That's obviously really what it was. My stomach, like I just couldn't squeeze in stuff. Even before having Ryan, if something was a little small, I can still like squeeze into it and be like, all right, I'll just stuck my stomach in a little bit. But after having Ryan, I couldn't do those things anymore. And that's when I started feeling like, dang, like what is going on? And when I really started noticing and understanding like, wow, you really had a baby and your body is really different.
The first time I was like, gosh, it doesn't even look like I had a baby. And then it was like, by the third time, it was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? Like that's when I first found out that your stomach can look a different way, like a way I never saw before. Like I didn't know anybody that had like shriveled up skin or anything like that. Like my mom didn't have it, she had 5, so I was expecting to have a stomach like my mom, and when I didn't, it was like a shock. It was like, what is this? And then when I started talking to other women or black women, I found out that a lot of black women had wrinkly skin and saggy skin, and that this was actually quite normal. And then I guess for me, the culture shock was like when I realized that I might not ever be able to get rid of it. Like it might be here for the rest of my life. And for me, I was like, why is this like something that mothers don't talk about? Like I never knew this outside of having my 3rd child, and I probably wouldn't have had I not had my 3rd child.
The first time with like a C-section is what I didn't expect to have in the beginning. And you know, when you see like other women who like bounce back or their body like, you know, goes back, and you have friends whose body also, you know, goes somewhat back to like normal, and like mine didn't, it was like kind of like depressing. Couldn't really come to like loving my body like the first time around.
So I think I'm definitely still, well, I know I'm definitely still on my self-love journey and just loving my body. I think that just being on social media and being like a mom on social media who shares her journey and just talks about those things, I think that makes me more comfortable. Like now, I feel like a lot of moms share their journey on social media, so it's like, okay, this is definitely normal. However, behind closed doors, I still feel like, dang, I really, you know, I'll switch outfits a few times just because I don't feel comfortable in it. So I'm still just trying to figure that out. I'm still on the journey for sure. Like it's not something that I'm super comfortable with right now. And I think that it'll take time, but I think that it's just something I have to continuously remind myself. Like you had a baby, it's not going to be the same, but like this is your new body, this is what it is. So I'm still trying to embrace that. I think I'm still on my journey. I don't think that it's something that is going to end, maybe, especially because I do plan to have more children. But I do want to get more, like I do want to make sure I am considering and telling myself this as I have more babies, and especially, you know, having kids and them understanding, like I never want them to see that I feel this way about my body. So it's definitely a continuous journey that I'm on.
For me, it was kind of like, it started like with me like looking at my stomach. Like before, I like used to avoid it. Like I wouldn't even look at it in the mirror. I'd get dressed, put my clothes on, I wouldn't even lotion my body. I would just put my clothes on and go. Like I kind of avoided it, and for me it was like, I need to start like addressing this. And that's when I realized like, you really have an issue with like, I don't know why this is making me feel like teary-eyed in here. Like this is not supposed to like what? I was like, gosh, like I really have an issue, like, and I need to address it because I didn't like that. Like this is what comes with birth, and like I felt like mothers like needed to know that. So for me it was like the first process was just acknowledging that it was there, looking at it every day, or forcing myself to wear it out. Like, you know, like one of my biggest things or goals is going to be to like walk out in a bathing suit and a 2-piece, like, and just accept wherever it is. Like don't be afraid of what other people think or see, just like embrace that. So but for me, like the first thing was just acknowledging it was there and knowing that I needed to change it and that how I felt about it was okay briefly, but that those weren't good thoughts. Like I needed to change how I viewed myself with my body.
Following Instagram pages that show bodies that look like mine, it kind of helps me realize that I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that doesn't snap back.
It took maybe about like a year or maybe 2, especially because like I feel like because I breastfed for 2 years with him, and they say like, you know, you're supposed to lose all this weight with breastfeeding, and it wasn't really happening. And I mean, yes, like I feel like I could have maybe like worked out more or did a lot more to help me, like I guess like get the weight off. But I mean, you know, like mom life, you make time when you can. Right before I got pregnant with Cannon is when I fell in love with my body, because I was like getting to where I wanted to be, and then I was losing weight, and then I got pregnant. I gained it all back. But I mean, now after having baby number 2, I'm like losing that weight again, and I'm starting to like fall back in love like with my body.
Dude, there was like something that someone commented on my thing like not long ago, and I just like brushed it off. They were saying like it's gross that people have stretch marks and kind of want to like give them a reality check. Like, if you ever have kids, I hope you know like the person that you're with might not necessarily like snap back. I mean, I used like all the Pinterest recipes and concoctions and the oils and the lotions and stuff, and I still got them. I still have them, but I honestly like them. It's kind of like you earn your stripes, like tiger stripes.
Just the snapback to me is like a misconception. Like even after my first baby, like my stomach went down, but the body didn't feel the same after birth. Like nobody's body feels the same after birth. I think that's the misconception. Like people think that all these bodies are just supposed to snap back, that pregnancy is easy, that pregnancy is fun. Like it's just so many things that are like misconstrued. And I'm low-key angry at older moms for like hiding all of those aspects of like pregnancy and like the truth. It's like those are like the biggest things that should be talked about, me personally. Like, and I feel like a lot of us now in this day and age, like we spend pregnancy being culture shocked because there's things about our bodies we didn't know would happen after birth or during birth, and I just think it should be talked about more.
They think you're supposed to go back to what you were before, but that's not always like the case. As stretch marks too, like I would have never thought I would have had big babies and got any stretch marks, but I mean, look at me now.
And one, I feel like everybody's body is different. Everybody's journey is different. You can literally have a baby today and tomorrow be looking like the way you looked before you had your baby or better. But I think that it is glorified sometimes, the snapback. And I know for me, I thought, oh, I've always been small. I was very petite before this. I just know that when I have a baby, whether I work out or not, and I didn't work out really before having Ryan. I probably worked out more when I was pregnant than ever in life. So I think that for me, I thought that, oh, because I'm so small, I would just be back to where I am. I think that it's a misconception in the sense to where a lot of people think like when they see moms that do snap back, they think automatically this is going to be me, or you know, post pictures like, oh, me when I'm a mom, you know, the snap back, this, that, and the third. And I didn't realize like that's not completely real until I had Ryan and I didn't snap back.
To love yourself or nobody will.
For me, I wish that I didn't focus so much on like what I looked like and enjoyed more of like, this is my time to just bond with my baby. And I did, but part of me was like, I can't wait to work out and I can't wait to get my body back, but I never like lost it. So that's something that I wish that I told myself before, that you don't lose your body, you just have a new body. Just
enjoy the fact that you just became a mom, and just understand that you just had a baby. It's a lot easier said than done, because like I said, that's something that I tell myself, it's something that I do tell other moms, but just genuinely understand and enjoy those, that time period of having a new baby, not focus so much on your body. Like just think about what your body has done and for the world, and that's delivering a child, into this world. So just enjoying that stage, enjoying the stage of your baby, where you are with your body and all of that, instead of being so focused on how you look.
It gets better. So I mean, like any thoughts or like feelings that you have, it gets better. And I mean, you may think that way about yourself now, but in the end, like, you'll learn to accept and love you and everything that's changed. It's changed for the better. You have little babies and little humans.
Mm-hmm.
So just love yourself as you are, accepting who you are in that moment and in that day, knowing that regardless of what it is for that day and that moment, it can always change. It's just a phase, and you just have to love yourself in that moment. Self-love is imperfections, it's insecurities, knowing what they are and accepting it, forgiving yourself.
Loving yourself regardless of, I don't want to say like a cliche answer, but it's real. Like, just genuinely, not just, you know, sharing and saying, oh, I'm practicing self-love. It's really and truly showing up for yourself and you know, spending time with yourself and doing the things that you love, whether you just had a baby, you're going to have a baby, you know, if you're married, not whatever the situation is. It's just genuinely showing up for you, taking the time for you, and continuing to do the things that you love to do.
Appreciating myself. I don't love myself every single day. There's some days where I go shopping for an outfit and it's like, okay, this doesn't look on me like it does on this mannequin. So sometimes I don't always have positive days, but I think that just appreciating your body for what it's done and what it carries me every single place that I go.
Since I just had my baby a month ago, I'm still on my self-love journey. I'm still working on everything, especially with like my birth story, and I was trying to have a natural birth and then I didn't. So it's like everything is, I guess, like being processed in my mind of re-loving me and myself and my body.
We always show appreciation and love for others, you know, our husband and our children, you know, always saying thank you and showing their appreciation. But now it's time to tell yourself that.
Girl, you lit. I'm very proud of you. You have been through, you know, a lot of things, and just being able to share your journey with the world and genuinely show up for other people. I think that it is time for you to show up for yourself. But last year, I think that you finally have been on the journey of, you know, doing more for yourself and sharing more and just doing more of the things that you love. So I want you to continue to do those things, to continue to love yourself, and to just make sure that you are loving and putting time into you, you know, just as much time as you do everybody else.
You're beautiful, you're an amazing mom, and whatever, I guess you put your mind to, you're definitely able to do it, so I should just do it. But I feel like I always second guess or overthink, and I should not do that anymore. Definitely, if whatever I want to do, and that I love myself.
Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't be such a perfectionist. And try to love yourself every day.
Imani, you have come a long way. I love who you're growing into. You're inspiring, you're powerful, and just continue to love and grow yourself. I love you.
My name is Ashley.
I am Kaniqua.
My name is Imani.
My name is Melissa.
My name is Erica.
I'm still beautiful.
I'm still confident.
And still me.
Still me.
Still me.
Still me.
I'm still me.